Right now, you have kids on campus. Just this week, Princeton, Black Lives Matter. Students listed their demands. Black-only cultural spaces. In the name of equality, they're demanding segregation. For the first time since the civil rights in the United States, you have people literally demanding segregated spaces. No word yet as to whether they want black and white drinking fountains and if white people should be at the back of the bus. 2015 can be seen definitively as the year liberalism's chickens came home to roost. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, let's think about this for a second. We've been told how great Barack Obama's been for national security because Osama bin Laden was killed. We've been told how great the economy is because unemployment is at an all-time low. We've been told how tolerant and how much of a uniter Barack Obama would be in the United States. He would cause healing to take place. Right now, our economy is probably one of the worst ever. Now, people say unemployment. Well, actually, job participation is at an all-time low. Since October 1977, we've never had fewer people working. 62% of Americans are participating in the job force right now. So you can say unemployment is lower. That's because people aren't looking for jobs. They're not even considered a part of the job force. Many of them are on the government teat, which is what liberals want anyways. That's how leftists want society to function. They want the welfare state. And it's funny, people say, you say welfare state. That's what Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton say. When you watch the Democratic debates, I know they put them on a late Saturday night running opposite a UFC event, and I think the next one is on Super Bowl Sunday, opposite the Super Bowl on Telemundo. They don't want you to see the debates. They put them at the worst times where no one watches them. Why? Because they know they say crazy stuff, but they don't want the media to catch up on it. So they use the word welfare state. That's what leftists want. We have the lowest job participation rate right now than ever. That's bad for the economy. That's really bad. If people aren't working, that's bad for the economy. And most of the jobs that were created, obviously, that they claim they've created are simply government jobs, which are, of course, not real jobs. They're taking the money from you to create busy work. They're just creating busy work. But that sounds great, doesn't it? Come work for the government. You get free money. Yeah, but who's giving you that money?
Hubba, hubba, hubba. Money, money, money. Who do you trust? Me? I'm giving away free money.
Yeah, exactly. National security. Since basically abandoning Iraq, a vacuum was created. Unstable Middle East, Barack Obama said ISIS was contained. Actually, global terrorism has increased a whopping 80%. And ISIS is more powerful than ever. We now have Syrian refugees wanting to come in. Several have been caught with fake passports trying to get in. Refugees have been caught as terrorists in the Paris attacks, some from Belgium. Boston bombers, terrorists. So national security is at an all-time low. We have a lowest job participation rate. We have ISIS and global terrorism more prevalent and powerful than ever. And then, of course, the first black president, the racial divide was going to be bridged. There was going to be some healing, right? Right now, you have people who believe that racial tensions are worse than ever at an all-time high. Right now, you have kids on campus. Just this week, Princeton, Black Lives Matter. Students listed their demands. Black-only cultural spaces. In the name of equality, they're demanding segregation. For the first time since the civil rights in the United States, you have people literally demanding segregated spaces. No word yet as to whether they want black and white drinking fountains and if white people should be at the back of the bus. But they do want black-only spaces. So we're more racist for fake reasons. When Barack Obama says, my son would look like Trayvon, when we come out and say these students, really, their voices need to be heard, and you give them legitimacy when they're absolute and total brats, who've, like many of them, have gotten into college because of affirmative action, who are there, who think that the dean of Yale or president of Yale, they told him his job was to create a safe space for people, to create a home. His job wasn't to educate. I mean, Yale, Princeton, Mitsu, Black Lives Matter, Baltimore, by the way, Baltimore, most violent year in Baltimore's history, most violent homicide rate ever in their history. So they've got the economy, lowest job participation rate since 1977. National security, do you really think we're safer? But Osama bin Laden's dead. Great. Now we've got ISIS, the most brutal people. Tim Kennedy was talking about this. The most brutal people we've had to deal with. Awful, awful people, and they're more powerful than ever. Global terrorism, 80% higher. Healing. bridging, reaching across the aisle. This has been the most partisan president in history. And, of course, the United States is more racially divided than it's ever been in my lifetime. You have Sean King, DeRay, saying this is worse, at least as bad, if not worse, than the civil rights era. So 2015 is the year the economy went to crap, national security ceased to be, and all of a sudden, all Americans, all white Americans became more racist than ever and needed to be reprimanded and needed to be held accountable. In 2015. Here's the point. You can only push that off for so long. You can only put in so many stimulus packages and create so many fake government jobs until you start looking at the job participation rate. You can only start being politically correct and kicking the terrorism fighting can down the road until that comes back to bite you. You can only start saying Trayvon would be my son, or talk about police brutality, or say that we need to give these people enough space to destroy in Baltimore and cater to them, until you see the worst homicide rate in the country ever, until you see campuses in complete and total upheaval and racial tensions worse than ever. You can only do that for so long. You can only pass, the same thing with Social Security eventually, you can only pass that tab down for so long. Well, guess what? It's 2015. You think this is a great year for America? You think this is progress? You think we're more united, we're safer, and have a stronger economy than ever? If you do, go ahead, tweet me, @SCrowder. I don't know, I think anyone with even a semblance of logic would say 2015, that's a rough year. It's craziest year of news in my life. You know what? It's the year leftism's chickens came home to roost. The bill's here. Okay, if you like this video, I'm going to level with you here. You can subscribe by clicking my face or the button above. Or you can close this window and not subscribe. It is entirely your prerogative. All I am doing is requesting that you subscribe because we work really hard on these videos and they take a lot of time, but you don't have to. Also, there's a pipe bomb in your car. I would recommend you subscribe.